I am going to be speaking in English. However, the text is also available in Greek near the back, so you have both of them in front of you for whatever you're comfortable with. Θα μιλήσω στα αγγλικά για να μπορούν να καταλάβουν όλοι, αλλά υπάρχει και το κείμενο στα ελληνικά για όποιος θέλει. Είναι προς το πίσω, στο ίδιο χαρτί που έχετε όλοι μπροστά σας. Αν χρειάζεται κανένας και άλλα χαρτιά, υπάρχουν και άλλα εδώ και πίσω στο νερό. So if anybody needs extra copies, there are some here in the front and also in the back at the water. So just before I start, I just want to say that, first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. Thank you to His Eminence, to His Grace, to the Presbyters' Council, who I used to be part of as well. And I was asked to speak about the living community with the priest as the helmsman, guiding the ship, the father of the community. And I just wanted to say that, there are much older and wiser priests in this room who have much more experience than myself. I've only been a priest for about 17 years, but there are others who have much more experience. So, of course, this is not exhaustive, and this is not covering everything that could be done or every outlook or every approach. But it is simply the things that I have found, at least in my limited time as a priest, and just my thoughts. And, of course, I welcome your feedback at the end. And also, if you have questions, it's also better to ask our older priests who have much more experience and much more wisdom than I do. So beginning, introduction. The Orthodox Christian community functions as a spiritual family, deeply rooted in the traditions and teachings of Christ and the apostles. At the center of this community is Christ, and by extension, the priest, who serves as a spiritual father and leader, guiding the faithful through his example and pastoral care. However, the strength and vitality of the community also depend on the active participation of the laity, working in synergy with the priest. And this essay explores the importance of the Orthodox Christian community, emphasizing the dual roles of the priest and the laity in fostering spiritual growth and communal cohesion. Drawing upon Orthodox Christian sources, we will explore how this collaborative relationship nurtures a vibrant and spiritual enriching environment for all the members in our communities. So firstly, the community as the body of Christ. The Orthodox Christian community is often described as the body of Christ, emphasizing the interconnectedness and interdependence of his members. St. Paul, in his first letter to the Corinthians, writes, "For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ." 1 Corinthians 12:12. And this metaphor underscores the unity and diversity within the church, where each member, guided by the priest, contributes to the spiritual well-being of the whole. The parish community is a microcosm of the universal church, reflecting its values, teachings, and practices. The communal aspect of Orthodoxy is evident in the way that worship is conducted, emphasizing the collective over the individual. The Divine Liturgy, the central act of worship, is a communal event where the faithful gather to partake in the Eucharist, the sacrament of unity par excellence. This communal worship fosters a sense of belonging and mutual responsibility, encouraging members to support and uplift one another in their spiritual journeys. In addition, the communal life of the parish extends beyond liturgical worship to include acts of charity, education, and fellowship. Community activities such as Bible studies, philanthropic efforts, and social gatherings provide opportunities for members to grow in their faith and develop deeper relationships with one another. As St. Basil the Great noted, when you help someone who is hungry, or give someone a cup of cold water, or help someone who is naked, think you are giving it to the Lord, for you have done it unto Him. This perspective encouraged the faithful to see Christ in their neighbors, reinforcing the importance of community in the spiritual life. The priest is a spiritual leader. In Orthodoxy, the priest occupies a unique and sacred role as the spiritual leader of the parish community. His responsibilities extend beyond administrative duties to include leading worship, administering sacraments, preaching, and providing spiritual guidance. St. John Chrysostom eloquently describes the priestly office, stating, "The priestly office is indeed discharged on earth, but it ranks among the orders of heavenly things." This highlights the profound and divine nature of the priest's duties, which involve guiding the faithful towards a deeper relationship with God. Central to the priest's role is the celebration of the Divine Liturgy, the heart of Orthodox worship. Through the Eucharist, the priest facilitates the faithful's communion with Christ, fostering unity and spiritual nourishment within the community. St. Ignatius of Antioch emphasized the importance of the priest in the liturgical life of the church, stating, "Let no man do anything connected with the church without the bishop. Let that be deemed a proper Eucharist, which is administered either by the bishop or by one to whom he has entrusted it." This underscores the priest's pivotal role in maintaining the sacramental and spiritual life of the church. Beyond liturgical functions, the priest also acts as a pastoral caregiver, offering counsel, support, and guidance to parishioners. St. Gregory the Theologian highlights this aspect. The pastor must be one who first has been cleansed and then can cleanse others, who first has been filled with wisdom and then can impart wisdom. The priest's example of personal holiness, prayer, and dedication must serve as a model for the laity, inspiring them to pursue their own spiritual growth. The role of the priest as spiritual father is also pivotal to the life and growth of his congregation, serving as a living icon of Christ's pastoral care. St. Gregory remarks that a priest must be a physician of souls, capable of healing spiritual ailments with wisdom and compassion. This fatherly role extends beyond liturgical services as the priest nurtures, counsels, and supports his flock, embodying St. Paul's exhortation to imitate me just as I also imitate Christ, 1 Corinthians 11:1. Thus becoming a spiritual anchor in the communal and individual lives of his parishioners. The importance of mentorship, something that we don't really talk about anymore in church. The importance of spiritual mentorship is often overlooked in modern-day Orthodoxy. Mentorship can exist between the priest and his congregation, but also between the older and younger generations in a community. It is profoundly rooted in the patristic tradition, reflecting the importance of passing on the faith through personal guidance and example. St. John Chrysostom emphasized this dynamic relationship, stating, "What greater work is there than training the mind and forming the habits of the young?" This highlights the crucial role of the elder generation in shaping the spiritual and moral foundations of the youth. The wisdom and experience of the elders serve as a guiding light, helping the younger generation navigate their spiritual journeys. Mentorship fosters a living continuity of the Church's traditions and teachings, ensuring that the faith is not just preserved, but also deeply internalized and lived out by each successive generation. Additionally, St. Basil underscores the value of such mentorship, saying, "The young, for their part, should honor their elders, who by reason of their experience of life are in a position to counsel them." This mutual respect and reverence between generations cultivates a strong, cohesive community where learning and spiritual growth are encouraged. The elder generation provides the younger with not only doctrinal instruction, but also practical wisdom on living a Christ-centered life. Through this relationship, the younger generation gains a sense of belonging and identity within the Church, understanding their role in the larger Christian family. The patristic emphasis on mentorship thus highlights its importance in nurturing a robust and enduring faith that can withstand the challenges of each new era. In addition to this, leading with humility is equally vital for older parishioners, as it reflects the true essence of Christ's teaching on servanthood. St. John Chrysostom reminds us that humility is the foundation of all virtue, indicating that true leadership in the Church is not about authority or dominance, but also serving others with love and meekness. When elder parishioners lead with humility, they create an environment of mutual respect and openness, fostering a spirit of unity and cooperation within the parish. This humble approach to leadership helps to break down barriers, making it easier for younger members to seek guidance and feel valued within the community. By prioritizing service over status, older parishioners model the Christ-like way of living, inspiring the entire congregation to follow suit in their own spiritual journeys. For the clergy, their mentorship should especially be grounded in humble service and not the wielding of power. The position of honor afforded to clergy by tradition can often present a stumbling block to true mentorship when clergy forget the words of Christ, "Whoever would be first among you must be the servant of all," Matthew 20:27. And again, "The Son of Man came to serve and not to be served," Matthew 20:28. It has been my personal experience that one of the most effective ways to mentor Christ-centered living and keep oneself humble is the practice of cleaning one's own church. Regardless if the parish has professional cleaners or not, whether the parish is clean or not, there is great value in the priest periodically picking up a broom, rolling up his sleeves, and getting to work. Cleaning one's own church holds profound spiritual significance, especially for a religious leader, as it symbolizes humility and a commitment to servanthood. In the Orthodox tradition, the church is not just a building, but a sacred space where the divine liturgy is celebrated, and the presence of God is deeply felt. By engaging in the physical act of cleaning, a religious leader demonstrates a tangible respect for this holy space, reinforcing the idea that maintaining its purity is a shared responsibility and a form of worship. This act of worship reflects the teachings of Christ, who washed the feet of his disciples, illustrating that true leadership is rooted in humility and the willingness to perform even the humblest tasks. Furthermore, when a religious leader participates in the upkeep of his church, it sets up a powerful example for the congregation. It shows that no task is beneath anyone, fostering a sense of community and mutual respect. This practice can diminish hierarchical barriers, reminding both the leader and the followers that they are all equal before God. And this principle extends to all religious leaders who, by humbling themselves in service to their church, cultivate a spirit of humility and demonstrate that sanctity is achieved through acts of love and service. While many would disagree, the preferred position, at least in my opinion, the preferred position of the parish priest during community functions is not at the head table, but rather in the kitchen with the rest of the volunteers. Synergy between the priest and the laity. The concept of synergy between the priest and the laity is yet another central key to the Orthodox understanding of the Church. This collaboration is rooted in the belief that all members of the Church, whether ordained or lay, are called to work together for the glory of God and the salvation of souls. The priest, as the spiritual leader, provides direction and guidance, while the laity actively participates in the life of the Church, bringing their unique gifts and talents to the service of the community. St. Chrysostom emphasized the importance of this synergy. The Church is not a place for quiet rest, but a place for toil and labor. Each one must take up his work and perform it. This statement highlights the active role of the laity in the Church, where each member is called to contribute to the common good. The priest, by setting an example of dedication and service, inspires the laity to engage in various ministries such as teaching, charity, and evangelism. This synergy is particularly evident in the liturgical life of the Church. The participation of the laity in singing hymns, responding to prayers, and receiving the sacraments creates a dynamic and interactive worship experience. This communal worship is a manifestation of the unity of the Church, where each member, guided by the priest, plays a vital role. St. Chrysostom remarked, "The prayers of the Church are not the prayers of one man, but of the whole people." The importance of lay participation. Lay participation in the life of the Church is not limited to liturgical worship. The laity is called to be active in various aspects of parish life, including education, charity, and administration. The involvement of lay members in these areas is essential for the growth and vitality of the community. St. Paul, in his letter to the Ephesians, writes, "To each is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good." Ephesians 4:7. This passage underscores the idea that each member of the Church has a unique role to play in the life of the community. One significant area of lay participation is the ministry of education. Lay members, through teaching Sunday school, leading Bible studies, and again organizing catechism classes, help to nurture the faith of the community. This educational role is crucial for the transmission of the Orthodox faith to future generations. St. John Chrysostom emphasized the importance of teaching. What greater work is there than training the mind and forming the habits of the young, as I had said before? And by engaging in educational ministries, lay members contribute to the spiritual growth of the development of the parish. Another vital area of lay participation is charitable work. The laity, inspired by the example of the priest and the teachings of the Church, engages in acts of charity and service to those in need. This charitable work is a manifestation of the love of Christ and a witness to the wider community. St. Basil the Great wrote, "He who labors as he ought to and performs works of charity exercises both himself and others in the way of piety. Through acts of charity, the laity embodies the teachings of Christ and strengthens the bonds of the community." Challenges and opportunities for synergy. While the synergy between priest and laity is essential for the health and growth of the Orthodox community, it also presents challenges that must be addressed. Modern society's individualism and secularism can undermine the sense of community and shared purpose that is central to Orthodox life. Additionally, the increasing diversity within parishes, in terms of ethnicity, language, cultural backgrounds, and mixed marriages, can pose challenges to unity and cohesion. One significant challenge is the potential for misunderstandings and conflicts between the priest and laity. Differences in vision, priorities, and approaches to ministry can create tensions that hinder effective collaboration. To address this challenge, open and respectful communication is essential. The priest and lay leaders must engage in regular dialogue, seeking to understand each other's perspectives and working together to find common ground. St. Paul, in his letter to the Colossians, advises, "Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, to which indeed you were called in one body, and be thankful." Colossians 3:15. This counsel emphasizes the importance of maintaining a spirit of peace and gratitude in all interactions. It should be stressed that the greater onus is on the priest, being the leader of the community, to foster such an environment of communication through his humility, openness, and willingness to listen to other points of view. Even in situations where it is necessary to take a stand against the status quo, for example, for ethical and moral issues, it is still important that he acknowledge the feedback and contributions of those who may have different opinions. Sorry, there's a typo there. In such difficult situations, trust is key as it breeds respect, even in the face of disagreement. Another challenge is the need for adequate training and formation for both clergy and laity. The priest must be well prepared to lead and guide the community, often through ongoing personal development and education of his own, while lay members need training to effectively participate in various ministries. St. Gregory the Theologian emphasized the importance of preparation. The unexamined shepherd is unworthy of the sheep, and the unexamined sheep unworthy of the shepherd. Investing in the education and formation of both clergy and laity can enhance the quality of ministry and foster a deeper sense of collaboration. Despite these challenges, the synergy between priest and laity also presents numerous opportunities for growth and renewal. By embracing the diverse gifts and talents of all members, the Church can develop new and innovative approaches to ministry. The involvement of lay members in various aspects of parish life can lead to a more vibrant and dynamic community. As St. Paul writes, there are varieties of gifts, but the same Spirit. There are varieties of service, but the same Lord. 1 Corinthians 12:4-5. This diversity of gifts and services, when channeled towards a common purpose, can greatly enhance the life of the Church. The role of the priest is crucial in addressing these challenges by fostering an inclusive and welcoming environment, promoting an understanding and respect among diverse groups, and providing strong spiritual leadership. The priest can help to build a cohesive and vibrant community. His example of humility, compassion, and dedication can serve as a model for the faithful, encouraging them to overcome divisions and work together for the common good. Conclusion. The Orthodox Christian community, with Christ at the head and the priest as a dedicated shepherd, plays a vital role in fostering spiritual growth and nurturing the faith of its members. The priest's example of holiness, humility, and pastoral care serves as a guiding light for the community, inspiring the faithful to pursue their own paths to sanctity. The communal nature of Orthodox worship and fellowship provides a rich environment for spiritual growth, offering support and encouragement and opportunities for service. By addressing the challenges of modern society and promoting unity and inclusion, the Orthodox Christian community can continue to thrive and fulfill its mission of bringing the light of Christ to the world. Conferences, such as this year's Clergy Laity Assembly, provide fertile ground for priests and lay people alike to come together, network, collaborate, and learn from one another. It is our prayer that this opportunity does not go unheeded, but rather will continue to provide opportunities for growth in both faith and progress in our Holy Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of Canada. Thank you.